Hey guys. I'm trying to post the thumbnail for this video so everybody knows we're doing round 3 today. And then I was struggling. I don't know how I'm struggling, but I'm struggling. But I'm gonna get it done. How are you guys? How was everything while I was gone? We missed a book club. So I'm going to make it up to you. We're going to be sprinting for our book club this week too. I'm just going to add a bunch of lives in. I figured like it's kind of fun for the book club if we all actually read the book together. I thought, oh, it might save me some time if like I just read it and we just discuss it. That wasn't really that fun. And I think like because it's a virtual book club, we should get to do what we want within like it's bad enough we don't get to actually visit in real life. So I think that we should at least give ourselves that. At least give ourselves the ability to sit and body double and read the book together. That's what I think. So thank you for joining me, those that you have. I have a little poll up. I'm just curious where everybody is on their scoring. Not because I'm like, oh, how many do you have? I have this many. Not like that. More like because this was our first time like piloting this Russian Rummy reading sprints. So this is our first time going through the whole game. So I just wanted to know how everybody else is scoring because we know how I'm scoring. How are you guys scoring? I'd like to know where you are right now before the beginning of round 3. What books are you guys going to be reading for round 3? Because we have to read 2 books and 40 pages from each book. So we should be banking a minimum of 80 pages for this game, for this round. So that's nice that at least that we're promised the 80. I got it. I did it. Woohoo. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes like I make the things and then it's like it's AI and I was like, I did not. I use Canva and I don't know why it says that. And then I have to, yeah, so now it's up. Now it's there. Now people know. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back into Russian Rummy reading sprints. I really did miss doing that with you guys. I was having fun with it. We were really getting into it. I tried that one time when I was sick just to jump to round 4 because I knew it was such a big, it's going to be a big round. The next round that's coming for us is going to be a big one. But also, I was too sick to actually get anything done that day. So it was just 10 hours of you watching me struggle sick. So I just was like, no, we're just going to go back and do it the way we're supposed to do it. And I think that's best. I think that's best. And I'm currently going to be reading, I've actually been reading books based off of like, lately I've been going to visit places. I'm in my vacation era. I've never had a vacation era before. This is my first one. And I've got a taste of traveling. And although it's exhausting and it's a little bit nerve-wracking, like I do love it. And I'm ready to go again, like, but I'd like to bring the family with me. Honestly, if I could bring the dogs and the kids with me, like I could probably stay away from home for a very long time. But I can't bring them with me because they're finishing school and such, so I have to be patient. Everybody's like, you've only been back for like a week and you're already ready to run away again? I'm like, it's not running away. It's seeing what else is out there. Like, I really did miss the rain and like all the green trees that we have here in Washington, Oregon. Like, that was, I mean, it did rain for me when we were in Las Vegas like twice. Once when I was in the pool and once when we were on the high roller. Is that big Ferris wheel thing that goes around so you can see all of Vegas, and it started raining a little bit and I was like, yes, home. Like, and it was like the night before we went home. And then everybody's like, do you think that if it starts thundering and lightning they'll take us off? And I was like, oh yeah, that is a concern, huh? When we go to Idaho to Silverwood, the theme park, there's a theme park in the middle of the desert there. Yeah, if it thunders, if it's raining, like you just assume that the theme park shut down. You either go to the water park or you find something else to do because highest point of contact, right? That's what's happening. I think it would be really fun to go to one of those places where like they put the rods in the sand and like the lightning hits it and then you get to like collect the glass. That would be really cool. I think that would be pretty awesome. Someday, right? I don't even know. They probably wouldn't let you down there. You might get to put the rods and they'd be like, come back tomorrow when it's all over. Probably best that way. So the books that I'm getting this posted so everybody knows that we're live. Okay, so the books that I'm going to be reading for round 3. Welcome, welcome everyone. The books I'm going to be reading for round 3 are going to be Sarah Waters' The Little Stranger. And I haven't really posted too much about it yet, but my kids and me and my husband, we went to Pittock Mansion, Pittock, Pittock Mansion. It's in Oregon. and it's like a mansion among the forest, which is like most of the houses around here do have trees and forest around them. It's just where we are. It's just the area we're in. But this is a mansion that nobody can like. The sad thing is about most of the mansions in this area, like there are a lot of mansions in this area. There really truly are. If they're not turned into like wedding venues or museums or like kind of like this Piddock Mansion. This is the bookmark I got when I was there. This one obviously they turn into like a museum, and I think they do like art exhibits there too. But yeah, if somebody doesn't find a way to like find a use for it in like an educational way, the mansions just kind of like deteriorate. So there are tons of mansions I've heard like in the middle of the forests around my house, like up the gorge, where like they're just abandoned. I've heard there's one like under one of the bridges here. Like I don't know if it's the I-5 or the 205, but there's apparently like a mansion under one of those. And you wouldn't know because you can't see under those bridges. They're so big. So just that kind of put me in like a, oh man, I kind of want to go see some of the abandoned places. But the problem is like it's a safety thing. You have to go in groups because just because you're in the forest, I'm not honestly afraid of animals in the forest as much as I am the people, because I'm learning that like I don't know, it's just there's a lot of transient people, and like you have to be careful because you're, to them, in their mind you're trespassing on their home, and like they don't want you there, right? So either they're going to yell at you or like you could come into some danger. So like I do want to definitely explore some of more of the abandoned mansions around the area in Oregon and Washington, like less of like the Pittock Mansion's not, it is abandoned but like also like it's upkept, like they are having tours, they're having like nobody lives in it, but like it's being taken care of. But I would like to see some of the more ones that are run down that like people have forgotten or couldn't afford to take care of. So I just wasn't aware that we had that, and I've lived here my whole life and had no idea. So we went to Pittock Mansion, and after we were walking the trail, they have like takes 2 hours to walk this loop that goes like down to the main road, and then like you do switchbacks. Switchbacks are when like it's like a ribbon. So like you go up, and then like that way you're not like going up so steep. So they'll have you go up this way and you're slowly climbing by going back and forth. That way, like, because it's too steep to go that way. That's what a switchback is. Some people don't know. So you end up going down the switchbacks, and then you end up going level with the main freeway, and then it's a half hour you go back up and then do the switchbacks up to the top again. So that was 2 hours, and the whole time we're there I'm like, this reminds me of a book that I was supposed to do a buddy read with someone, and then someone like they read through the book so fast and they're like, okay, let's go to this next book. So I never got a chance. I think I got to like chapter 3 of this book, and I was like, when we were at Pittock Mansion, I was like, man, like this is really reminding me of that book, like the stairs and like all of the pretty spackling on like the walls. I was like, what does that remind me of? This one, The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. So it's the part that I got to so far was this guy, his mom is like a maid or something. She has friends at this mansion when he's a boy, and he gets to go in and like explore the house a little bit, even though he's not supposed to. And he does something naughty and takes a piece of like the sculpture off of the wall. It's like an acorn, hides it. His mom burns it, and that's like his memory is like, oh, I took a piece of this beautiful house, how naughty was I? And then he goes back after the family's like lost their money and their fortune, and it's sad to see because he's the doctor now. He's showing up and like it's in ruins. Like it looks like more than one person has picked things off that wall. Like it's just not the miraculous beautiful thing that it once was. And I think that you can feel that the character himself is disappointed and like he wishes it was different. But that's just the beginning of the story. That's just how he's connected to the house and how he reconnects with it later on in life. We don't really know much about the house or the people that live in it besides that apparently they're broke, or at least they're letting people think that they're broke. I don't know. They're very outspoken about it, and generally people who are actually broke don't do that. So I'm kind of concerned why they're like, oh, well, too bad they don't know the silver is already bust. It's like, or that's already been popped. I'm like, oh, well, most people that are poor try to hide it. So I don't know if they're just putting on a show that they're poor or if they actually are poor. I'm not sure. So, and he recounts a little bit of what he remembers of the family growing up. Like they did throw a big fancy ball one year, and the next year it was thrown by another family. And I don't think they ever hosted a big fancy one again. So there's something going on with that, and I'm excited to read it and see how it is. So this one gets this bookmark, the Pittock Mansion bookmark. And then the next one was the one I was supposed to read in Vegas, but Vegas is not a lay around kind of vacation. Like I thought maybe it would be. I thought, oh, we're gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna relax by the pool, we're gonna have pool parties and this and that. No, it was go, 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 go. Uber, Uber, walk, walk. Where's the food? Are we on the right side of the place? And they have Uber pickups. Like in Portland, when you get an Uber, you stand there and they drive around and they just find you, right? They're like, "Oh, there you are, got you." No, if you're not in like the pickup or drop off like designated spot, they won't drive around and try and find you. Like so, and then we tried taking the bus, and that was like, yeah, but do we want to stay an hour on the bus to go like a 6-minute Uber ride? So it was just a whole lot of traveling. Would I do it again? Yes. Next time we're planning on going for a little bit longer. We're planning on going for a week next year. So 7 days. Oh, and I didn't do much gambling. Everybody else did, and I think that they all like were up by the time we left. I guess I was up. I was up $20, but like I didn't put as much in as everybody else. Like what I did was like pennies compared to what everybody else did. So the book I was supposed to be reading when I left for Vegas was The Princess of Las Vegas, and the point was, and this is by Chris Bohjalian, this was supposed to put me in the mood for Vegas before I went, since it was my first time. I kind of wanted to get like the dirty, seedy undertones of Vegas, and it would have been perfect. Like I started listening to a little bit on the plane, the audiobook, but it was my first time flying. So I gasped, and then the poor lady next to me was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "It's my first time. I didn't know the plane was gonna just like they drive fast." Like he was like, "I thought we were getting ready to take off the whole time." No, we were just driving down the runway to get to the place where we take off. And I was super embarrassed. I was just waiting the whole time for it just to, and then I gasped a little and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "It's my first time." And then I just had like a full rundown of like, "This is banking, this is where your air is, the snacks are coming." Like she kind of like gave me a whole rundown. So I didn't have time to read it then. And then the plane ride back was horrid. Like everybody was hungover, not me. I didn't get my window seat that I paid for, and I was a little bit spicy about it because I wanted to look out the window. And everybody on the way there had the windows open. Everybody on the way back, all the windows are shut. Everybody's sleeping. I'm like, we're on, like, I want to look out the window. First world problems, I know, but goodness, like I wanted to do that. So the way back wasn't as glamorous as the way there. During the time it was louder than expected. Like I'm not trying to be like, but like those they didn't stop partying at the food court below our room until like 6 or 7 in the morning. Like and it starts at like 3 in the afternoon. Like they go there, they go. It was pretty quiet on Monday. And then we left Tuesday. So Monday night was quiet. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, loud, like so loud. We just ended up sleeping during the day. Like that's what we're like, we're just gonna take naps during the day and just try and survive at night. So I didn't have much time to listen to it. I think I've maybe listened to a chapter of it. So I'm just gonna start it over. But I am going to continue reading it because this is more of the vibe that I was looking for, like the real stuff that actually happens there. Because you know, when you party, there's going to be seedy things that happen. Like my version of partying is a little differently, but we all know how seedy it can get, and that's why my version is different because I've done the seedy things, and now I'm too tired to deal with the seedy things the next day. So I wanted to read this. I'm going to read this. I'm going to continue reading it, and then I have a few more Vegas books lined up that I'm going to read. I was talking to an Uber driver and he asked how different it was from like Portland compared to Vegas. And I said, well, honestly, like my shoes are dirty. Like I wore white shoes and they were still filthy, which is, that's a city. Like your shoes are going to get dirty, but it didn't smell like pee there. Like you walk around Portland and there's just pee everywhere. I wouldn't wear a dress in Portland. I wouldn't. And like every time I come home from Portland, everything I wear goes straight in the wash. Shoes, everything, washer. Like, but when we walked around Vegas, there wasn't a lot of like, I didn't see homeless people really. I maybe saw one or two people, and like they were more on like the outsides, and like maybe they'd be sitting at the corner, but they're like taking naps. Like they weren't running around bothering people. Like there wasn't like camps of them anywhere. I remember saying that to the Ritter. I was like, I didn't really see a lot of homeless people. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's because they live in tunnels." And I felt terrible. I was like, "Oh my God." Like I just thought maybe they had like a good shelter program or something, or like maybe they had like a real rehabilitation that was better than what Portland has. But no, like they live in tunnels under Vegas. Like there's tunnels that they live under, and there's like it's dangerous. Apparently it floods and like it takes out the people. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I had no idea. So of course when I got back I had to like, I didn't watch any YouTube videos about it yet. I probably will, but like I felt terrible. Like I really thought like it was a positive thing that I didn't see them. And then like when he told me that, that was like I didn't expect that. Like you live in tunnels in the middle of the desert under a city. Like that is apocalyptic in the real world right now. So like so there is a book called, I think it's called Under the Neon Lights, Living Under the Tunnels of Las Vegas. So I did order that book from Amazon. It should be here, and then that's a book I'll be reading. because I want to know what that is. And then after that, I'm going to wrap it up with what really happens in Vegas, because I think that would be fun and kind of lighten up and wrap up the series that way. Because I didn't mean to bring down the party in the Uber. I definitely didn't mean to bring down the party on the book club, but like it was something that I noticed. And so I asked. And sometimes I ask things that I guess I should. And my friends were like, when we take you in public, it's like you just ask people like whatever you're thinking. I'm like, they always are nice and helpful and they give me my answers. Like, I don't think I'm a particularly threatening person, so I didn't really think that I wasn't supposed to ask people questions. Sorry. So that's how we got here. That's how we got there. So I'm gonna do the first 40 pages of, I believe, The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. First 40 pages, and then I'm going to do 40 pages of The Princess in Las Vegas. And you guys can just read along with me. Let me know what you guys are reading. Let me know what you guys are scoring. Currently, it looks like I have 313 points from round 1 and round 2, and I should be adding 80 points. That will give us 393. It's not an even number. I want an even 400. So what I will probably do is I'll probably read 40 pages of this one and read 47 pages of this one so that I can have an even 400 points going into round 4. 400 for round 4. That's what I think I will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and give us like a, I don't know, like a 5-minute break real quick before we start, and then I'm gonna start the 40 pages and I will check in with you. Do we want to do dice sprints? What do you guys think? Dice sprints, or should we just like read all the way 40 through? Not sure. Let me know what you think. I like the dice sprints personally. I think they're pretty fun. Everybody's afraid to comment today. That's okay. That's okay. I get a little shy in lives too, especially because sometimes people will like jump you and they'll be like, you there who commented, you tell me things, and it's kind of scary. So do you guys think we should do dice sprints where we roll the dice and it tells us in increments of 10 how long we read, or should we just read the 40 pages straight through? Let me know what you think, and I will give us a 5-minute break, and then we will start the chaos of the reading. Okay, so let me know. Dice sprints or just read straight through. Let me know if you have over or under the 400 points that I will have at the end of this round. Let me know what you think. Let me know what books you're reading, and we will go on from there. Okay, guys, I've got my blankies. I've got my heater. I've got my book. I got my fancy bookmark. And then coffee, right? Vanilla chai latte. Don't put pot coffee. It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't understand. Milano cookies, okay? What do y'all got? What you got for your snacks? What's your snacks? Tell me what the situation is with the snacks. What book are you reading? We're hunkering down for 40 pages. How long do you think it's going to take us? I don't actually know how many pages a minute I read. I'm not sure. Usually I think I'm about a page a minute. So probably 40 minutes. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just time how long it takes us to read the 40 and see if the next 40 takes the same amount of time. The typing in this book is kind of tiny, to be honest with you. She'd be kind of small. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself so you don't have to listen to me. I don't have it. I don't know. Let me see if I have any music for you over here. Sometimes I do. Oh, I do. I have some. I could play some music for us. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good music because it's been a while. Let's see. Oh, we could do some of that. We could turn it down a little. Oh, or I guess it wants to stay up. It doesn't believe I know what I want. Oh, no, it wants to mute me. A little annoying. What else we got on here? Elevator music. Okay, 40 pages. Get to work. Okay. I have finished my 40 pages of the first book of The Little Stranger. Um, I like this book. I do. So that was 40 pages, chapter 1. So I just reached chapter 2. Um, so his mom worked in the service industry. I don't know if she was a maid or what, but she was friends with the maid at this house when he was a boy. So he got to go and see parts of the house where he wasn't really supposed to. He ends up stealing a plaster acorn, takes it with him. And then after that, he's mentioning how, like, the family didn't really throw the fancy party again after that. So which I suspected a more ordinary child would not have felt the entitlement. I was like a man, I suppose, wanting a lock of hair from the head of the girl that suddenly and blindly become enamored with. That's why he took the acorn from the house, because he was enamored with it. He just wanted a piece of it. It's a little creepy. People don't really take people's hair anymore, so it sounds a little creepy, but time period wise, it's probably appropriate. The acorn was put on the fire. I found the blackened nub of it among the clinker next day. That must have been the last grand year of the Hundreds Hall, anyways. The following Empire Day fiat was given by another family in one of the neighboring big houses. Hundreds had started at steady decline. Soon afterwards, the Aries daughter died, and Miss Aries and the colonel began to live less publicly. I dimly remember the births of the next two children, Caroline and Roderick. By then, I was learning in college and busy with bitter little battles of my own. So he was in, so by the time the house fell, he was already in school to be a doctor. So when I did see the house again, almost 30 years from that first time, shortly after the end of the anchor of another war, the changing in it appalled me. It was the purest change that took me out there, for the areas were registered with my partner, David Graham. So he wasn't even supposed to be at the house, I guess, is what they're saying. So it was just by chance that he even got to see it. So yeah, I am really enjoying it. So it goes from when he was a boy, and then he gets to go out there to see to one of the maids because his partner, the doctor who's actually assigned to them, passing by the hug, the like button. Thank you, Molly. Thoughts and musings. I appreciate that. And then we go into, I turned to Caroline and Roderick expecting embarrassment or even some sort of apology, but they led me past the damage of it's quite unbothered by it. So it seems like the family, especially the younger children, Caroline and Roderick, like they've accepted the fact that their family is poor. They've accepted the damage in the house, that the house is run down, and like they just are to the point where they just aren't embarrassed about it anymore. They just don't seem to mind. This part is a little bit gross because I know what a chamber pot is. Two worn velvet wingback chairs stood close to the hearth, and sitting on the floor beside one of them was a florid Victorian chamber pot filled with water for the dog. So it sounds like possibly their living situation, like maybe their hygiene has also come down with the house at the same time, like the people who are living there. Like they're just not living as vitally as they could have. And then we meet the mother, and then they end up having like tea together, and mostly it's just reminiscing for him about like what the house was, what hundreds hall was, and what it is now, and how the family has declined and how it's different. And he's kind of just wondering like what happened, how did that come to be. And it's I don't know how he's going to be more involved with this house. I don't know if like something's going to actually happen to the maid, because it really was just a false call for him to go out. So far it has been a really good teasing first chapter. I lay like that for a long time, open-eyed, unmoving, the cigarette burning slowly down, turning to ash between my fingers. And that was the end of chapter 1. So like they really do just set you up. They're like, hey, I was in love with this house when I was a kid. I got to go back as a doctor by mistake. This is what's going on. It's devastating. It's appalling. They're living like this, and they used to be people of substance. Like, and now what? Like, what caused them to fall? Just the war did? Because other families obviously didn't fall during the war. Why did their family fall? And then why did the wars affect them so much more than everybody else? Like, and why, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I want to know. And like, they can't afford a maid. Like, they can afford one maid and one house cleaner. And so she's doing all the work herself. So I don't really think that they're lying about being poor. Like, they probably legitly are poor, and like they're living like it. They're wearing worn clothes. Like, obviously her hands are shredded from kitchen work. But, like, I wonder why they're not ashamed of it anymore, like, they're just like, "We are poor." Like, so it must have not been something that they did, it must be something that, like, is out of their circumstance that they're just living with. I don't think that it could possibly be, like, a gambling thing, it couldn't be something shameful because then wouldn't they feel shame for the fact that they are living the way that they're living? I don't know. Like, it's really hard to stop at chapter 2. Like, I really want to continue on. But I'm gonna put my pretty little Piddick Mansion bookmark in here. And I'm gonna stop there because that is what we do. Oh, I lost it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop at chapter 4 or page 40. Oh, there it is. Chapter 2. And that is the first part of the Russian Rummy Reading Sprints round 2, or round 3. I'm sorry, I'm everywhere. I'm stopping at chapter 2. I read 40 pages total, and this was the first part of Russian Rummy round 3. That's what we're doing. So 40 pages of the first book. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to think if we should keep going then. I think we probably have to take a little break because I've got to do the bus stop thing here pretty soon. But I will be back and we will do the other 40 pages, 47 pages, because I want to reach 400 points of the Princess of Las Vegas. So probably in about an hour, I'll pop back on. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the live run, and if you want to continue on reading, you can. If you don't, that is totally up to you. You can catch me in the next live later on today, okay? So I will pop back on a little bit later today, and we will get that reading done. I would say it's probably going to be somewhere around about 1:30, 2 o'clock I'll be back. So that is what we will do, and I will see you then. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to end this live, and I will be back around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'll go ahead and schedule the live, and we can do the second part of Russian Rummy round 3.